I think this policy prioritizes UK-born people, so not British nationals, but UK-born people. So that includes, for instance, someone who may have arrived in the country for a very young age, may have grown up in this country, but they're not born here. They may have contributed, they may have paid taxes for many, many years. They may have fallen on hard times. Perhaps they face domestic abuse. And the policy seems to be suggesting that those people who have contributed for many years still wouldn't be prioritised under this proposed system. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair for a social
Marley,
housing.
can I just pin you up on one thing? Because I am fascinated. I think it's fair to say IPPR is a centre-left think tank. I think it's fair to say that you've advised Labour and so on, that you have done work with other parties. If I could just ask you a very direct question. What is wrong fundamentally with the principle of prioritising British-born people? Just explain that. What is wrong with prioritising people who were born in this country, whose families helped to build this country, contributed to this country? Why do so many people on the left have a problem with that?
Well, our social housing policy has traditionally been based on need, on who needs support. I think as soon as you move away from that principle that you're providing support on the basis of need, then you end up risking supporting people who don't need it as more than people who do need it. And that seems like a very inefficient use of public money.
Let me give you a real-world example then. Let's say you're right and I'm wrong. Let's say you're right and I'm wrong. So the First Lady of Sierra Leone was somebody who recently received social housing in a borough in London. She was living in Freetown, with a swimming pool and a helipad. So she should get a council flat before a young British married couple who've got some kids and are wanting to start a family, and they can't afford private housing, they can't get their own house, so they've asked the state for some help. You're comfortable with that, are you?
I don't know the example of that particular case, but I think what you've illustrated just there, Matt, with your example is you've emphasised that this particular couple needs support, and you've highlighted this other person, who you suggested might not need support. And again, that reflects the basic principle. I don't know the particular details of this case, but the basic principle of social housing is that people who need it are prioritised, because those are the people that social housing is most designed for. I'd also say, I think an important principle here of our policy system is, yes, we have a policy at the moment where you don't automatically get access to public funds or social housing if you're a migrant coming to the UK straight away. That's the current rules, and those I think many people would see as fair. You don't immediately get access to support in the vast majority of cases. But once you become a citizen, once you've been here for many years, you've contributed, you've paid taxes, you've paid into the system, you've paid lots of fees, immigration fees, people would think, okay, at that point it's fair because you've demonstrated your commitment to the country, you've become a British citizen, and what this policy is suggesting is, no, even then, even when you've made that commitment, even when you've become a British citizen, no, still you're not truly British, and still you shouldn't be treated equally to others. I think that's wrong.